Mr. President-elect.
The tweet that you had this morning about are we living in Nazi Germany, what were you driving at there? What are you trying to tell the
I think it was disgraceful that the intelligence agencies allowed any information that turned out to be so false and fake out. I think it's a disgrace. And I say that, and that's something that Nazi Germany would have done and did do. I think it's a disgrace. That information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage, writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are. And as far as CNN going out of their way to build it up, and by the way, we just found out I was coming down. Michael Cohen is a very talented lawyer. He's a good lawyer in my firm. It was just reported that it wasn't this Michael Cohen they were talking about. So all night long, it's Michael Cohen. I said, I want to see your passport. He brings his passport to my office. I say, hey, wait a minute. He didn't leave the country. He wasn't out of the country. They had Michael Cohen of the Trump Organization was in Prague. It turned out to be a different Michael Cohen. Sure. It's a disgrace what took place. It's a disgrace. And I think they ought to apologize to start with Michael Cohen.
Sir, since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect. Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
you are attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect, can you state categorically, Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And I think it's safe to say that there ain't going to be no love lost between Donald Trump and the media over his presidential run, especially with CNN. President-elect Trump absolutely dismissed CNN like an unwanted stepchild, like a pimple on his behind. I mean, just would not take not one question, absolutely dismissing the news organization and going so far as to call them nothing more than fake news. But with people like this working for CNN, he might be on to something. Repeated attempts by CNN reporter Jim Acosta to ask him a question just simply went unanswered, ignored, dismissed, bye-bye, see you, don't want to be you. All of this over what I believe was CNN's re-reporting of a BuzzFeed article that Donald Trump is labeled as nothing more than garbage, failing garbage. Everything, boy, when you criticize Donald Trump, everything fails as a result. You know, but anyway, BuzzFeed ran an article that said a Donald Trump aide was in Russia, and with all this mess going on with Donald Trump in Russia, it does not make Mr. Trump look very good in the eyes of the United States as far as the election was concerned. But it was the wrong person with the same name. And when that news went out, of course, it makes it look like Trump is in bed with Vladimir Putin and Russia and some type of Russian conspiracy to undermine, which this part is true, because he has admitted it himself, that Russia was attempting to undermine the U.S. election because Putin did not want Hillary Clinton to win, but Russia was not the cause of Donald Trump winning. So that's important. Russia had nothing to do with Donald Trump winning. Donald Trump won the Electoral College. That's that. But it doesn't make Trump look good because he's been just like touting the praises of Russia and Putin. And you're about to be a sitting U.S. president, and you're giving props to a man whose intelligence was trying to hack the United States, and doesn't look good. Absolutely does not look good. Outgoing President Obama is warning you that Russia is no friend to the United States, and it just seems like Trump is not going to listen. He's going to do things his way, which that as a president, that is your, I guess, your right to do that. But it just ain't looking good for President-elect Trump. You are simply stacking the deck with nothing more than cronies for your White House administration. You're putting relatives in key positions. You have aides who have had to have their books pulled because of plagiarism issues. We know your wife plagiarizes something fierce. It's one thing after that. This man is causing more controversy going into the presidency before he has gotten into the presidency than anything else. And, you know, I mean, I really, do you people actually know who you voted for? I really don't think you do. I understand that the election was, this one was more frustration, desperation in a lot of ways. But a man that the Republicans did not want. They're backing a man that they did not want to be president. And if that's not one of the biggest oxymorons out there, I don't know what is. No experience. No political experience, no foreign policy, no domestic policy, nothing more than a businessman. And we do find out, not a very good businessman at that. You're running businesses in debt. You're running fake colleges that you had to shut down because you were being sued. You have not paid your taxes in over close to 20 years. All of the things that, you know, I'm going to say it too, all of the things that if they were part of Obama's baggage before he became president, if he was running for the White House, you would have absolutely torched him, absolutely grilled him. If Michelle Obama had naked pictures floating around the internet, you would absolutely have grilled and torched her. So we do see the system of white privilege at work at its best, because these clowns will run this country into the ground for no other reason than they did not want a black president. They did not want Obama. They did not want Hillary Clinton. So it doesn't have anything to do with race sometimes. It just has a lot to do with just absolute stupidity. I do understand now that Hillary Clinton was not the best choice, because I couldn't figure out for the longest, why do people hate Hillary Clinton so much? I mean, all the work she's done as a senator, as a first lady, you know, what is the deal? Why do people hate her so much? I kind of sort of understand it now. It's like Hillary is a little bit on the underhanded side, you know. She was part of the Democratic conspiracy to undermine Bernie Sanders. And, you know, at the same time, you know, when Hillary Clinton got the nomination, Bernie Sanders should have thrown his support behind her, as far as I'm concerned. She got the nomination. Now all Democrats get behind your candidate and push that candidate. So it was a lot of underhanded stuff going on with Senator Clinton, that even though she won the popular vote, which means the country wanted her, at the same, I guess I can see too why a lot of people simply said, I just don't trust Hillary Clinton, even though I don't think it had anything to do with Benghazi. I don't think it had anything to do with emails. I don't think it had to do with anything like that. I think it was her character that people just called into question. But speaking of character, Donald Trump and his cast of characters have brought more controversy to the White House before they've set foot into the White House. And what really amazes me is that President-elect Trump has been so incensed over what he calls fake news and fake stories and absolute lies to discredit him. You know, you really didn't have a problem trying to discredit President Obama with fake and phony birth certificates. He wasn't born in the country, and you ran with that lie. And now that the shoe is on the other foot, you can't take it. It's pretty much the same thing. You're talking about President Obama was basically a scandal-free president. No affairs on his wife, no boning interns in the White House, no nothing. He came in, he did his job to the best of his ability, and he is leaving. He has been scandal-free, and he upheld the office of President of the United States with style, with class, with dignity, with respect. And what makes it even worse is that one of Donald Trump's sons in a recent magazine article said that President-elect Trump really never believed the birth certificate story. He always knew that President Obama was a U.S. citizen, but he opted to pick that lie up and run with it and do anything that he could do in order to secure the office of President of the United States. And I'm going to tell you people something. All this was for Donald Trump was a victory. That's all it was. Donald Trump is like a lot of rich guys. They just like to collect stuff. They collect beautiful women who otherwise would not have looked at them to spit on them. If it weren't for the fact that they were rich. They like to collect things like trophies. So achievements, and I did that, I achieved that. That's all the presidency was for Donald Trump. It was something for him to collect. He can look back at it and he can say, I did that. I was president of the United States. But look at what you're getting in exchange for this man. You're getting more controversy going in than anything else. And it's like so many of you white people approve of this. That's what's so mind-blowing about this, is that you rolled Obama simply because he was black, despite the fact that this man gave you health care for the first time in this country, got rid of a terrorist, rescued the auto industry, was responsible for job creations, got you out of that recession. And none of that made a difference, not a hill of beans. But this man comes in with all this baggage, and it's okay, with no experience. And with President-elect Trump's way of dismissing people when he does not agree with what they have to say or when they criticize him, that's not a good sign. Whether you thought the CNN article was garbage or not, you should have addressed that media company right there. You should have addressed that reporter and given him the opportunity to explain what happened. So whenever President Trump doesn't like something, he's simply going to dismiss it. He'll tweet about it, but he will not address it full on and will not deal with it. And that is just a bad sign of things to come. But I hope they ride you about this Russia thing for your entire presidency. Just the way you rolled Obama, just the way you did Obama, I hope they do the same thing to you. I hope they stay at you for your 4 years as president. I hope CNN stays on you for your 4 years as president. This is your conspiracy that you inherited, and it is going to hound you pretty much for the rest of your presidency. So while you're at it, as far as doing things that will totally screw up your presidency, why don't you hire her to speak on behalf of the black community? Send us all to hell in a handbasket. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.